Welcome everybody, it's Eric Paul Johnson with hsgametime.com, and we're here with Centennial coach Matt Logan. You know, last year, coach, you kind of stormed through the season, got all the way to the state bowl game, and kind of a hiccup at the end. How much motivation is kind of that given this program and maybe even yourself right now?
Well, I think it's given our kids a lot to look forward to. I think they think they understand how we played so well for a long period of time, and then didn't play well in the last game and how much that meant, and how that was. I mean, we obviously as coaches wish we would have got that game out of the way earlier in the year. But it was unfortunate the way it happened the way it did, but it serves for motivation for this year.
Right. Obviously a lot of key players back from that team. First of all, starting with your offensive line. Talk about where this offensive line kind of ranks, in the history of Centennial, starting with those guys like Leo Lafayette, John Hamilton, and talk about what you expect this group to do with a group of maybe untested skill guys right now.
Right, yeah, it's very unusual for us to have such a quantity of offensive linemen coming back and quality, so it's a really nice experience for us. We have not, like I said, we're not used to it, so we'll see how it ends up ranking in the end. We're excited because we know we, at least up front, we should do a good job, and it's just a matter of putting some guys behind him that can tote it, and we think that Romello can do that. He did a good job of that last year, and then Hayden Gavitt will be his coming out party, so to speak. Got a chance to show what he can do, and then some young receivers that we think will be pretty special.
Speaking of Romello, someone who obviously got a lot of playing time last year given some of the scores and games, but someone who in a big-time game, in the state bowl game, rushed for 100 yards in the second half of a game. What do you expect from him this season in that full-time role as the #1 guy?
We expect a lot from him. I know he's small in stature, but the kid has great, tremendous competitive fire and a big heart. He's about 10 or 15 pounds heavier, a little stronger, a little faster, so we expect big things out of him. Especially we think what's a nice advantage for him being so little is he hides behind those big guys. He kind of just squirts out of those little cracks and seams, and hopefully it will go the distance.
And then on the defensive side of the ball, maybe one of the best defensive lines in the area right now with Milo Jordan, who's headed to Arizona State, and then also Nata Tuihalamaka. Talk about what you expect from the defense this year, starting with those guys up front.
Yeah, those are two great anchors to have on each side of the ball. It's not like you can run away from one or hide from one. So it's nice that we have that, and got a couple linebackers coming back that'll fill in nice behind them. And yeah, we think up front wise, collectively as a group, it might be one of the strongest that we've had. So we're real excited to see them play. We expect very fast and physical play out of that group.
Another player that a lot of coaches in the league are talking about who really like is Isaac Kalunga at defensive back. Not the biggest corner, but a guy who's got a lot of speed and definitely the toughness out there. What do you like from him, kind of maybe leading the secondary this year? Yeah,
no, he's a great player. If he was 4 inches taller, he'd be recruited by everybody in the nation. It's just amazing that on our team, between him and Romello, two of our best players are 5'5". It only happens in high school football, and we love it. But Isaac's a great player. He's going to return some kicks and do some other things for us too. But he was just a dominant corner last year that really nobody even really knew about. So we're excited for him to have him back and see what he can do his senior year.
Given that you lost all 6 skill guys on the offensive side and some key guys on defense, usually a lot of teams would be in rebuilding mode, have to be struggling on the year. A lot of people are projecting you top team in the area. Again, you start number 5 in the state rankings. Is it more, year after year now, it's just reloading for you guys? It seems like the depth here is always a big strength for you guys.
I'm glad that we're thought so highly of. We probably don't have that same opinion of us, especially right now, and I'm not a big preseason rankings guy. I'd rather see how it unfolds in the end. It's hard to tell. I think that, we are inexperienced at some key spots. It might take a few games or half the season, like most teams, to really progress and get to where we think we could be, So I guess, that's the nice thing, too, about playing some good opponents in the preseason, because you find out where you are right away. And we're playing, I think, arguably one of the best teams in the state the first game.
Yeah, talk about that game fighting St. Bonaventure, who is ranked number 6 in the state to start the year. These guys are going to get thrown into the fire right away, and then after that, Mater Dei and Chaparral. So, what do you expect from those 3 games to get tested with this, and what do you expect these guys will learn from these games?
I think the key word is tested. We'll find out exactly where we're at in those first 3 games, in preparation for league. And league is no slouch by any means. But, playing those games are great for us. It's great for our kids. It's great for the program. It gives us an opportunity to see how we stack up against the best teams out there, and especially teams like, it's fun to play teams from other sections to kind of see what they're about. We got a northern section, and we got the Pac-5, of course, and then Chaparral's in our division. But it's just nice to go out and play some other people.
The Big A League last year, I think you guys outscored opponents by an average score of 60-12. You expect a little bit, more tough battle this year, given teams like Norca returning a lot of people, Roosevelt. North and Santiago maybe turning the corner. How do you look at the league this year, and where do you think maybe some of those tough challenges will come from?
Yeah, I think you just said it. I think Norco and Roosevelt are probably the two that I see right now, the two toughest competitors out there. I agree. North and Santiago are up and coming. I think Corona's going to be much improved. I think there's this, it's a tough league. I mean, we did have the large, discrepancy last year, but I think that was kind of unusual. I don't think we didn't expect that. I know that, and I don't think anybody else did. And I think that, it's going to be much tougher this year. It's going to be every week's going to be a big fight.
All right, everybody, we'll tune in each week to see highlights from Corona Centennial football this year. We'd like to thank Coach Matt Logan for joining us today. And for HS Game Time, I'm Eric Paul Johnson.